Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise today to commemorate the life of a colleague and friend, Butler Derrick, who passed away earlier this month. I had the privilege of serving with Butler during my first term, which was his last. Although our service together in this body lasted only 2 years, I had the pleasure of working with him in the years before and the years since. I am honored to say he was a friend, and I know I am not alone in saying he will be missed. Butler Carson Derrick, Jr. was born in Springfield, Massachusetts in 1936. His family soon returned to South Carolina, and he grew up in Florence. He received his undergraduate degree from the University of South Carolina and his law degree from the University of Georgia. He took up the mantle of leadership at an early age, serving as president of the student body at the University of South Carolina and was a legal student leader at Georgia. After law school, he settled in Edgefield, South Carolina, where he started his own law firm, Derrick and Byrd. Just 3 years out of law school, he was elected to the South Carolina House of Representatives, where he served on the Rules and Ways and Means Committees and as a member of the South Carolina Nuclear Advisory Board. It was during these years that our paths first crossed while I was serving on the staff of Governor John C. West, and we became friends. In 1974, Butler was elected to this body from the 3rd Congressional District of South Carolina. He quickly distinguished himself among his large freshman class, becoming the first freshman ever appointed to the Budget Committee, on which he served for 10 years in the House, as well as chairing the task force on budget process for an additional 2 years. At the start of his 3rd term, Butler was appointed to the Rules Committee, on which he would serve for the remainder of his tenure in Congress, serving as vice chair from 1989 to 1995. Butler had a way of bringing people together. The Democratic caucus in those days was very ideologically diverse, from dyed-in-the-wool Northern liberals to old-guard Southern conservatives. Born in Massachusetts and raised in South Carolina, Butler was uniquely able to bridge these divides. And in 1986, he was elected to serve as a regional representative to the Democratic Steering and Policy Committee. In 1992, his ascent in the leadership continued when he was named Chief Deputy Whip, the first time that a South Carolinian had been named to a top leadership post in 130 years. I owe him a debt of gratitude for paving the way for other South Carolinians to follow in his footsteps. While Butler's service in leadership gave him a role in all the issues affecting the nation, his focus never left the 3rd Congressional District. He was a tireless advocate for the textile industry, serving as chair of the Congressional Textile Caucus from 1987 to 1994. With his district containing the Savannah River Site and Barnwell Nuclear Fuel Plant, he struck a balance between promoting the economic benefits of the industry and ensuring the health and safety of his constituents. Finding the right balance wasn't always easy, but Butler navigated the issue, as he did all issues, with a keen intellect and fierce advocacy. Butler Derrick was a man who did what he thought was right and let the political chips fall as they may. Scott A. Frisch and Sean O'Kelly, in their book, Jimmy Carter and the Water Wars, singled Butler out for a special commendation in this regard when it came to fiscal responsibility and environmental protection. It is worth quoting them at some length. Butler's support of the administration's position might be considered surprising. Included in the hit list was the Richard B. Russell Lake Project, which spanned Georgia and South Carolina. Mr. Speaker, Butler's service to South Carolina continued beyond his years in Congress. I close by concurring with the late Speaker Tom Foley, who said, upon Butler's retirement, Butler Derrick was a true leader. While I miss my friend Butler, I am confident by the fact that he lived a rich and full life, and he will live on through the impact he made in the lives of those he served. He is a model that we will all do well to emulate. Are you back?
The gentleman's time has expired.